The greatest mistake today is choosing a career before discovering who we are. Good morning, everybody. I greet you in your respective places. I remain my humble self, still Francis. And one thing again that I've observed so deeply concerning us as human beings, concerning us as people of this generation is that most people or many people are employed in jobs, but they are not actually fulfilled, or they are not actually living a fulfilled life even in that job, because they are not satisfied with what they are doing. That is not because it is originally supposed to be like that, but it is because we are employed not actually where we're supposed to be. Because in terms of pursuing career, before discovering yourself, you end up working where you got the opportunity because you experimented with life, experimented with so many options available, or so many options that you were able to see. And because it's as a result of experimentation, you come across something that you find doing, which is your job. But you are not actually being fulfilled in that job. You are not actually being satisfied with that job because you are yet to discover who you actually, or who you were created and meant to be. In many cases of our lives, we see glimpses in form of mirage, something that is a kind of not vividly clear yet, but we see glimpses of those things that we are supposed to do or become, but we are not able to focus on doing them because we don't even know what they meant to us, because they don't come in full pictures, they don't come in full package like we expect them to come. And because they come in glimpses, we don't always have the attentive mindset and disciplined mind to actually see through the vision and the dreams and aspiration in those glimpses of the things we're supposed to do. And as a result, we neglect the things that matters most to us, the things that we're supposed to do as work. And because we will discover that part of us that is really the work that we're supposed to come and do here on earth, the world will never get enough of us, because we will operate beyond the realm of the human imagination. Being able to come to terms with the glimpses of what you see, the glimpses of the future you were meant for, will give you the stability, we give you the mind to focus and do the things and do that thing with the joy and satisfaction that no one could understand, that no one will ever understand. Only you that is able to discover that part of you will do that thing with joy and satisfaction of the mind and the heart, and the whole of you will feel satisfied because you are actually working where you're supposed to be, not by experimentation that we mostly do today. Some people in certain job or certain employed place of work today are not actually satisfied, because sometimes we work because we don't have a choice. That is the only thing we are able to find doing. And then we do it sometimes not giving the best of our ability, not giving the best of our capacity, because it is not actually where we are supposed to be. But because we are unable to find where we are supposed to be, we manage with what we see. And because we manage with what we see, we work below the potentials that are embedded or built inherently into us by the divine God who created and formed us in our mother's womb, even before this foundation of this world started. But when we're able to be disciplined enough to carefully watch things that happen around us, and the glimpses of those things that are supposed to be our future glory, or what we're supposed to do, or what we're meant and created to do, the level at which we'll be able to do it, we'll do it with ease. Not just ease, we'll do it with an understanding. Not just understanding, we'll do it with a clear direction, because that is the path that was chosen for us before even creation itself. Because what we are created to be, we always be different in ways you do it, in ways you manifest in that aspect or area of gifting that you find yourself. Because it is actually the process of becoming yourself. Because every day, as the day passes by, you are discovering new areas, new innovative schemes, new information in that area, and then because it is your area of work, it is something that you were designed originally to do, you will manifest in it in different ways that human beings will not understand. There will always be options that comes to your mind, but because it is something that is connected to your path. It is something that you were born with inherently, and as such, you are never short of ideas. You never lack ideas. Nations and great economics are planted in the mind of human beings, are planted in the mind of humans. And when a human being is not able to discover that part of the economic that is planted in him, that part of the economy that is inbuilt inherently in him, or that innovative idea that is meant to grow and develop an economic that is planted in him, he will not be able to know how to provide solutions that will help the economy to grow, the economy of the country to grow. In most case scenario, the gross domestic growth of a nation is achieved through individual human beings who are able to discover or realize who they are, work towards achieving who they are meant to be, work towards the career path that they are actually designed for, not the one that they come across by experimenting on different options. Sometimes when we're growing up, when children are growing up, there are certain things that they enjoy doing, that they love doing, that they like to do. They are always drawn to do those things effortlessly. They do it with ease. But sometimes, because they don't have the ability or the self-realization to relate it to their parent uprightly, they practice it on their own at their leisure time. And because some parents are not actually able to discover that part of their children, they push their children into careers or choice of careers that are not actually meant for those children. And as such, when the children get to this school or tertiary institutions, they struggle with whatever they were pushed or directed to study or to learn, or skills to learn. And because it is not actually part of what they are supposed to learn, they struggle with it. And because they struggle with it, they are unable, or they are not able to learn it to the certain level or the certain capacity of actually producing innovations that are beyond the level of what their master taught them, or the level of what the education taught them. But when they are able to, when the guidance or the parent or the person directing this child is able to allow this child to work based on the inherent ability, work based on the glimpses of the self-discovered career they've discovered for themselves. Such human being is going to work in every aspect he finds himself with the best of his ability. And as he works and continue to work in that area of his own gifting, his area of his own self-career choice, based on self-discovery, the layers of the built potentials in him, the areas of the capacity or abilities in him will begin to unfold in layers, just like we peel onions in layers. As this layer unfolds, the next is preparing to be unfold. The next is unfold because it's like he's opening up portals of his life. Because those abilities or the ability in that area of career that he has chosen are something that unfolds step by step, because he is going to actually do it to the fullest. He's going to do it to the least, to the last of what is left in him, or because he does not explore it completely at one go. He does not explore himself completely at a given point of time. They comes in phases. The potentials or the ability comes in phases, and because of that, they unfold gradually. That is why there are many innovative ideas that didn't just stop in one spot or didn't just stop in one stage. As they do one stage and finish, they relax, and at the time of their relaxation, another idea is unfolding. As those ideas and the next as the next idea is unfolding, they are projecting it outwardly. And as they are projecting it outwardly, the next one is preparing in their mind, or the next one is reopening in their mind. Just like we have studies, or we have courses of studies with different topics, where we have the foundation, which is in the introduction to that area of studies, or this introduction to the area of innovation. That is how careers are in every individual human being. From the introductory aspect that unfold in your life, the beginning aspect, then the body of it, and from the body of that area of study or that area career path, the other layers that are left untapped will begin to unfold themselves gradually. And that happens only when someone is able to self-discover based on how he was able to get a good guide, a good mentorship, a good parenting, that is able to be attentive enough to watch the child carefully in the areas he must place his attention in areas he must derive joy in participating in. Because there are some of us today who study and graduated in schools, but we're not actually practicing what we studied in school, because what we studied was not actually because we wanted to study them, but some were because we are influenced by a certain group of people. We are influenced by sometimes parents. We are influenced by sometimes teachers who saw a different thing in us that is completely outside of what was meant to be our actual career path, direction of study. And because we end up studying what was given to us, or what was directed to us, or what was projected to us by another human being who didn't actually settle down enough to understand the area of our gifting, to understand the area of our potentials, to understand the path that was actually designed and meant for us. And because of that, it becomes experimentation with life. And the worst case scenario is that when you experiment with life, we don't actually always come to terms with what we're actually supposed to do. Instead, we end up managing what we found doing, not what we was meant for us to do, or designed for us to do. And because of that, people are living below their potentials today. And because you live below your potentials, you will always struggle to meet ends need, because you are being conditioned to receive some certain salary or some certain amount of money based on the job we are doing. And because it is not actually where you were meant to be, you don't have the full, you don't project the full potentials in that area of field, which is why sometimes organizations release some people of their jobs when they become redundant, or when they are no longer needed. And that happens because they are working where it is not actually meant for them. And because they are working where it's not meant for them, they work below the target of the expectation of the company. And because of that, the company cannot keep on paying services for services they don't get the best of what they want. But imagine that you were able to discover who you are, what you are, and what you are supposed to do and become, and then you are becoming it. No company will relieve you of what you are doing. Instead, the company will want to pay more when you demand for, or what you request for, because you yourself know the value you are giving to the company, and the company itself know the value you are giving to them. And because of that, when you even attempt to say you want to go, they find ways to pay you so they can keep you, because they know the value you give out. But when you end up with something you experimentally or eventuality found doing, because of your inability to actually discover your own path, you manage a certain life pattern. You manage a certain salary that is being paid to you. You manage the lifestyle you live. And that is why sometimes people are complaining in jobs. They are actually working, but they are complaining of not just the salary, the time they go to work. Not just the time they go to work, how they are being regarded, or they are being looked at, or the company treats them. Not just how the company treats them, they complain on how their family are not able to get the best of their attention. They complain of so many things I can't even mention, because you are working because you find the job, you find the work, you find that path that has become your path, because of it is the only thing you'll find or you are able to discover. But if we have, or if we have had the best environment or the best system that could help us become self-discovered, self-career, how will I put the word again? What would be the right word? If we're able to realize and discover the paths we're supposed to be involved in terms of career choice, the way we are going to function in that aspect, in that area of work, it is going to be something that the company cannot get enough of us. We cannot get enough of what that we are giving out. And because the both are seeing the value of what they are doing, you are seeing the value you are giving out. The company is actually receiving the best of what you are giving out. You yourself will know what you are doing, and you know how you want to do it, and you know how you are supposed to be regarded, or you are supposed to be appreciated in what you do. The company also will know the value you are giving to them, or the organization will also know the value you are giving to them. and they will value what you are giving to them. And because they value what you are giving to them, or the services you are giving to them, they are going to place you on a valuable salary that is going to keep you in that place, because there's going to be a competition for organizations, companies that are sourcing or seeking your value in their ventures. Companies are going to compete, because when you render a certain services to an organization or to someone, there is always the possibility of somebody coming to ask, who did this thing? Who designed this project? Who handled this project? The person did a well done job that I really want this person to come and also do something for me. And that is where the referrer comes in. People will begin to refer you. Your organization will not just keep you trapped in their organization. They will make negotiation with other organizations for you to go and work, while the company will collect the money and then settle you well. Because they are the one that refer you. Without the company, you will not get the referrer. And because of that, you are not just conditioned to remain in one place or you render services in one place. Your services will be almost everywhere. If a company that really means well for themselves or means well for even you, they will allow you to be flexible enough for them to actually make more from you. Because as they refer you to other organizations or other companies or other places, those places will pay them for their consulting services that they get from their staff, which is you. And as they are paying for the consultancy, the payment will come through the company because they referred you to that place. And the company, if God help them to do well by the standards of work ethics, they will also pay you well for going to deliver such services. I have a friend who works in a furniture company, which I will not disclose his name. But today, he has gone to places. He has traveled to states. He has traveled to places that I cannot count. Not because he has the money to travel to those places, but because the company is sending him to places to handle jobs for them, because he has become so good in that job, because it is his own path that he has chosen for himself right before time. Sorry, it is the path that has been chosen for him right before time. Right before he even assumed, or he was even sent into time. He was already prepared, planned, and sent into time for that purpose, for that role, for that career path he has chosen. Because even myself, when I see the jobs he does, I feel so marveled. I feel so drawn to want to be that, to want to be part of what he's doing. But it's not actually my part. So even if I try to, I might not be able to do it like he's doing it. Instead, I will end up doing something that I will not even love, not to talk of another person liking it. But I love what he does, and that is because he has chosen a path that is actually meant for him. I talked about somebody who my friend is working with, or who bought a van for my friend to be using. And that man is a successful engineer today. An engineer that traveled to places, that works for government agencies, that travel to international countries, that travel to countries beyond Nigeria, just for him to go and deliver his services that he was able to find himself doing, or that he's able to discover himself, and he's doing it so well that organizations are seeking his services beyond Nigeria. And that is why it is always good, it is always important, it is always the number one paramount thing that we start to help the younger generation that are coming up to self-discover what they are meant to do, what they are supposed to actually do, what is actually the career path they are supposed to choose before even going into any career. Because going into a career before discovering yourself will actually make you waste time, waste resources, waste your mind, because sometimes you become so demoralized in struggling to learn in areas you are not supposed to be. And because you are struggling to learn in those areas, you cannot be able to give the best of your ability in the area that is not actually your own. You will struggle to learn. You will struggle to concentrate. You will struggle to see ideas that will unfold within that career path that is not your own. And because of that, you will end up not producing the best of what you are supposed to produce. And because of that, you will be underpaid at every given time. And because of that, you will never be happy with what you are doing. And because you will not be happy with what you are doing, you will never live a fulfilled life. You always manage until you eventually, if you are lucky, come across the path that it was meant for you, that is meant for you. Or you will live your life all through, never satisfied. Sometimes we feel we are satisfied because that is the only option that is presented to us, or that is the only options we see. But in reality, we are not living a fulfilled life, or we are not living a satisfied life. We are only managing what life gives to us. But if we self-discovered what we are meant to do, become an area we're supposed to function in, we will always have a new innovation to give out. We always have new information to project to give out. We always have new ways of manifesting beyond what someone who is not thinking in our direction could understand. Someone who is not in that same area of choice, area of career, is not in that same choice of career, will understand. And that is why today we have specialists in some areas that most of us could not understand how they are able to become that specialist in those areas. Because being a special person in a certain area or field of study is as a result of discovering what is actually meant for you. It's as a result of discovering what you were meant for and what your mind was shaped for. And because it is what your mind is shaped for, you will do it with diligence. You will not just diligent, you will be consistent. Not just consistent, you will love what you do on daily basis. As you are sleeping at night, you are thinking of what is going to be the next thing to do when you wake up in the morning. As you are sleeping, as you are sitting down, as you are eating, always your mindset is always in where your career, that thing you are doing, or that project you are doing, or that area of studies that you are in school, your mind will always be reflecting. Even when you are walking on the road, even when you are sleeping sometimes, when you are not fully asleep, you will still be meditating on that. As you are walking, you will still be meditating on that. In whatever you do, your mind is always focused on that part of what you are doing, because it is in you, it is you. It is actually you becoming you through that area of work you do. And it is now has become the fulfillment you are deriving. Even sometimes when you are not yet employed in that area, or you are not yet working in that area, or when you have not been able to start up your own organization or start up your own firm, even if you are working for somebody temporarily, you will do it with joy and satisfaction. Sometimes even when the company fails to understand your value, or see through your value, or the value you are giving out, or some people, like some organizations do, they deliberately want to exploit you without giving you back the due salary or the due pay that you deserve. But because it is something that you do with satisfaction, because it is part of you, it is your career that was meant for you. You will do it happily with joy, even when you are underpaid, because you are targeting the possibility of going out or moving out of that organization to start your own. You are targeting the possibility of making enough to be able to start up your own organization. And that is why sometimes when some people leave some organization, the organization will go after them, beg them, or send people to help beg them to come back, because they will try to uplift, or they will try to increase the returns they give for the services you give them, because they will not want to lose the potentials, to lose the value they see you offer to them, because the value is beyond something they can ever imagine, because it becomes an exceptional, your services become so exceptional from every other person, because, or it becomes aligned with other people they see profiling solution in such area, and because it is part of who you are supposed to be. Even if you are about 10 people, 20 people working in that same area of gifting, or in that same career path, everybody will be contributing differently in that area. And because all of you are meant for that, as you contribute in different areas to that project, the areas will align. And as the information you give, or the parts you play aligns with others, you see a project becoming something so unique that organization wouldn't want to lose one part of you, or the organization would not want to lose one person from that crew, or from the crew members that are handling that certain project. They wouldn't want to lose someone among you. And when someone leaves, the jobs become so heavy for others, even if they can. But that part that you are giving that is no longer there will affect the job, and because of that, the organization will go after you with all they have to make sure that you are back to be part of that number that is missing. So I always pray that we are able to self-discover ourselves in the areas of gifting, in the area of career, in the area of potential that we are built with. So like I always say, let's comment, let's share, let's give our own thoughts of what to think when it comes to this area of career choosing, area of career choices among our youth as a nation, among our youth as individual. Let's always find ways. If someone is acting haphazardly without direction around you, and you are able to notice it, call him close or draw him close, and then talk to him, guide him, ask him personal questions, and try to know what is that thing that he does that gives him joy when it comes to studies, when it comes to any innovative idea, when it comes to creativity. What is that thing that gives him joy and fulfillment when he does it? What is that thing that he can do even when he is not being paid to do it? What is that thing that gives him fulfillment? And those are the things that possibly end up. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm saying it based on experience of what I was able to come across and understand. But everybody has his own different view or different approach to understanding some of all these things. So you that understand it in your own way can comment and share, so that we can together work together to build ourselves, to build our society, to build our economy, so that our economy can grow like the ones we see beyond us that we are wishing we are part of. So the economic of our nation cannot grow on its own, cannot grow because of the system planted in our society. The economy can only grow when an individual person is working where he's supposed to be working. or doing that thing that they're supposed to be doing, which is going to bring growth. Because you are doing your own, I'm doing my own, Mr. B is doing his own, Mr. C. Collectively, the values we are giving them will add up together to become the gross domestic product we have or we are giving in sum total of all our values as a nation. We can actually become whatever we want to become. The power lies in our mind, and the mind is the treasure house to discover whatever that God has always wanted you to discover, irrespective of your background, your roots, your family, your ethnicity, and even your religion. We are all one part of a larger society. We are all one part of a larger community that is supposed to work together unanimously to become whatever we wish for ourselves. And also, let's remember to always project good morals and good words of encouragement to each other. And then, the negativity that has been planted in our mind, let's try to work on our mind to do away with the negativity. Pronouncement that is not going to be okay to the ear or to the outside world. Let's try to adjust in how we control. Let's try to control our speeches, because sometimes we make hateful speeches or we make comments about ourselves that are not even helping us, because there is power in the words we speak, in the words we project. And as such, we need to be mindful of the kind of words we use in order to be able to collectively grow together as a nation. Just like I say, we're one part of a larger society that is meant to grow beyond the confines or beyond the limit that has been placed. Because there are certain people who have already projected and set boundaries to which we can grow beyond. So long as they are concerned, we can never grow beyond that limit or beyond that level. They will set a boundaries for us, and we shouldn't allow it to become realistic, to become the reality of who we are. Because nobody can define who we can be, who we will be, or who we should be, because they never created this nation. They never created us and placed us in this nation. As individual human beings, let's try to be leaders in our own locality, in our own area, leading someone that is close to you, leading someone that is next to you to become a better person. If he's not acting where he's supposed to be, if he's not acting how he's supposed to act, let's be individual brother's keeper. And just like it is said that together we stand, divided we fall. So let's stop being divided as the general youth society of our nation. Because today we fight each other for no just cause. Yes, the situation is not what we hope and what we have expected it to be, but it is what it is. Should we now contribute to tear it down? No. So let's work individually to see that we're able to help this nation to grow to what it is meant to be. I remember myself, Francis, known as F. Black. Let's help individual to grow together. Stay tuned as we continue to dive more on different issues that are affecting our society, that are affecting our individual mind, so that we can grow together.